Have you ever looked at a research article and felt unsure about where to begin or whether it's even worth reading in the first place? Most research articles follow the same basic structure, but if you don't know what each section is for, it can feel like just a wall of words. Once you understand the purpose behind each part, you can move through it faster, find what really matters to you, and make smarter decisions with confidence. Hi, friends. I'm Matthew Courtney, and I spent the last 15 years helping educators learn how to find, evaluate, and apply research in real classrooms. Today, I'm breaking down the anatomy of a research article so that you can stop guessing and start reading with a purpose. Let's walk through the major sections one by one and talk about what each section actually tells you and how to use it in your decision making. The first section is the abstract, the quick preview. Think of the abstract like a movie trailer. It gives you a high-level summary of the research questions, the methods, the results, and usually the main takeaway. Use it to decide if an article is worth reading. Is it about a topic or population relevant to your school? Will it help you answer a real problem that you're facing? If the abstract doesn't grab you or apply to your context in a clear way, it's okay to move on. You don't have to read everything. Next up is the introduction, the why this matters section. The introduction explains the rationale behind the story. It usually includes the problem the researchers are addressing, the purpose of the study, and sometimes a preview of the research questions or hypotheses. This section helps you to understand why the study was done in the first place and what gap it's trying to fill. For educators, it's your cue to ask, does this reflect something I see in my own setting? Does this matter to my students and staff? The next section you'll find is the literature review. What's already known? The literature review is where the authors show their homework. They summarize previous research on the same or related topics, and they position their study within the broader conversation. You can scan this section to see how strong the foundation is, to spot key studies or authors who are really shaping the field, to understand how this study is building on, or maybe challenging, what came before. You don't have to read every citation, but pay attention to how well informed and well balanced the review seems. You might also identify other articles that you want to read and just make a note of them for later. After the literature review comes the methods, how the study was done. This is where a lot of readers get intimidated, but don't worry, you don't need to understand every detail. I certainly don't understand every detail of every method section I read either. What you need to look for is clarity and transparency. Ask yourself, who are the participants? How are they selected? What was measured and how? And was the study qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods? The methods section tells you how the researchers tried to answer their question. A strong method equals stronger trust in the results. Weak or vague methods equals proceed with caution. Next come the results, what they found. This is where the data lives. You'll see charts, tables, and statistical tests. But don't let yourself get lost in the numbers. You're looking for the main findings. As you read, ask yourself, what changed? Were the differences meaningful? Were the results statistically significant? And do they actually matter for practice? Are they practically significant? You're trying to find the story behind the stats. Many times, a quick scan of the charts and captions can give you what you need. Towards the end of the paper, you'll find the discussion, the why you should care section. The discussion section interprets the results. The authors connect their findings back to the big picture, and they often explain how they align or maybe don't align with previous research. This is where you'll find the authors talking about why the results matter, how they might apply in other settings, what limitations to consider, and what kinds of questions to explore next. This section is gold for practitioners. It's where the theory meets the application. Just remember, it's the author's interpretation. Use your judgment to see if their conclusions make sense in your context. After the discussion, you'll find a conclusion with the key takeaway. Most articles include a formal conclusion, but some don't. If it's there, it usually offers a brief wrap-up and sometimes implications for policy or practice. This is a great place to grab a concise summary if you're planning to share the article with a colleague or use it in a professional learning setting. Finally, the references, the research trail. The reference list shows you the sources behind the study. If you're looking to go deeper, find related studies, or see how ideas are evolving, the reference list can point you in the right direction. Always take time to skim it. So here's the big idea. You don't have to read every word of every section of every paper. You just need to know what each section is trying to tell you and where to focus your attention on based on your needs at the time. To recap, the abstract is the snapshot. The introduction is the why. The literature review tells you the background. The methods tell you the how. The results tell you the what. The discussion tells you the so what. The conclusions tell you the takeaway. And the references, they're your trail. Once you know the anatomy, you can navigate research articles faster, more confidently, and with a clear purpose. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. And check out the next video in this series where we'll talk about how to read the methods section even if you're not a researcher. I'll see you there.